Hi, everybody. Welcome back to episode 76 of the Simply One podcast.
Holy smoke.
Holy shit balls. I'm your host, Colin, and I'm joined by my co-host, Chris.
How we doing, everybody?
Like that we just became pioneers.
What?
Oh, shit. We're just a couple of best friends who are passionate about all things pop culture. If you're looking for lukewarm takes on movies, video games, TV shows, or even the occasional comic, then we have the show for you.
That's right.
And apparently we are the kind of folk that go, what in tarnation?
Hootin' and hollering.
What'd you just say?
Hootin' and
Oh,
hollering.
I thought you said, who in the horn? Like you just trailed off, ran out of words. Who in the
I
horn?
was really emphasizing on the redneck part because I'd trail off.
Oh, man. This week, we decided we wanted to do something that we'd been kind of just personally talking about a little bit.
Yeah.
Which was just...
On and off the podcast.
Yeah. Just watch some zombie movies. I think it kind of started when Morgan and I watched Train to Busan a while back.
Yeah.
And then it was revitalized with Oppenheimer, and I was talking about 28 Days. Baby, first of all, we found 28 Days Later for purchase on DVD on Amazon. And I went and checked at my order in the Amazon history. That's no longer available. You can only get it used when you go to the same link.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I got it. Like, it was still in the plastic. Had to tear the stickers and shit off. So we got a fucking hot-pressed one. Other fucking... plebes and losers are having to
We should have
get somebody's hand-me-down.
What did I say? We should have capitalized on
They
it.
were already gone. We couldn't get them. That was the problem. Was there wasn't anything to capitalize on.
We could.
Somebody else already capitalized on it, and
See,
we were
we missed
part
our
of the fucking
chance.
system there. So we watched 4 movies, which were
Train to Busan.
Train to Busan.
And then we watched Dawn of the Dead.
Yep, the 2004 remake.
Shaun of the Dead.
Yes.
And then
28 Days
28
Later.
Days Later.
The one that we just had a little spit about.
Yeah.
What you scrolling around about over, baby?
Pulling up my cryptid.
Yeah. We did. We talked about we're going to talk about all 4 of those. I figure we'll do full spoilers. We're not really reviewing them, but just kind of, I guess maybe a high level review. We're not going to get into the weeds on any of them. No. Maybe talk about parts that we liked, didn't like. And maybe.
Just maybe.
I don't want to rank them, but maybe we rate them.
Like what?
To zombie or to not to zombie? Because that
To
is the
zombie
question.
or to zom don't.
Well, no, because the quote is to be or not to be.
Whatever.
So it's to zombie or not to zombie.
Or not to zombie. All right. That's fair.
All right.
That I can't see real well. Is that Bill Shakespeare?
Is that Hamlet?
To be or not to be? That was...
No, that's Macbeth, isn't it?
Yeah, because he's holding the skull.
Yeah. To be or not to be.
I remember when I watched that with... or it was Hamlet. No, it was Macbeth with Patrick.
Sir Patrick Stewart.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the stage play. Well, they did it as a stage play, but they filmed the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's really good.
That was good. It was gas.
Welcome back to Gas or Pass. The 1998, I think Kenneth Branagh directed it with Sir Patrick Stewart playing Macbeth. Gas. Do you know who Kenneth Branagh is?
No.
No. Sure as fuck don't. Do you remember Chamber of Secrets?
Yep.
The new Professor Against the Dark Arts, who's a fucking like prissy boy with his hair and all that.
Yeah.
That's Kenneth Branagh.
Oh, word.
And he was in, I think he directed the first Thor movie.
Thought it wasn't good. So
It was fine. In retrospect, it's fine. It's the second one that's not good.
yeah. Somehow it got
Yeah.
worse.
And the fourth one?
Mid.
Yeah.
Third one was the best. Ragnarok was gas.
Peak. Yeah. Yep. Anyways. So we do have a little bit of news. I feel like I've got more news stories than normal, but they're smaller stories.
Okay.
So I wanted to talk about Barbie and its box office performance. We got an update on the Wonder Woman 3 situation. Some Disney Plus pricing changes and some just system changes in general. Some union updates. Fucking Invincible Season 3 news.
Oh my god, I know that one.
You just pump the brakes there.
Oh my god.
We did get confirmation of something that we had already reported as a rumor. And
We're calling it here, folks.
Yeah, like, shit. And then some potentially, like, good surprise news about Stalker 2, which is a PC game that's been long awaited. So, where do you want to start?
Let's start at the top.
Start at the top with old Barbara. So Barbie has crossed 500 million just in North America, and is at $1.2 billion worldwide, making Greta Gerwig, who is the director, the first Female director to cross $1 billion. The asterisk is as a woman, because I think one of the Wachowskis who made the Matrix films, who is a trans woman, was made $1 billion as a when they were still a man, and so that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, no.
$1 billion movie that I'm sure people like. Nobody thought it was going to be $1 billion movie.
Yeah.
But shit, it had really good word of mouth, and it's got the oopsies, not a sponsor, just a nice RC cola.
Glass it up with a DC.
Yeah. And then I do know that I believe at this point in time is the second highest grossing Warner Brothers film of all time.
Oh shit.
I think it's still trailing slightly behind Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2.
That's the one I haven't seen.
And that's a huge film. I mean, that's the one that, if it's going to be a Harry Potter film, that's the one that's going to be the highest grossing film, because it's the end of the whole... Yeah, it's the wrap-up.
I've seen all of them except for the last one.
I mean, it's like Endgame, Yeah, of course Endgame makes the most money.
Right.
It'd be weird if it was like, actually, Avengers Age of Ultron is the highest grossing Marvel film of all time. But...
Infinity War was better.
That's pretty impressive. Yeah, I think so too, overall.
Yeah.
Fucking Thor arriving on Wakanda.
Yeah.
Cut that shit out, dude.
Stop it.
Actual goosebumps.
It should be a felony to watch that.
I was jizzing in my little boy pants at the theater. I had a little nerdgasm. I got chills down my fucking spine. And my mom's over there, like, not, I mean, she knows enough to follow, but not enough to catch everything. But even she was like, I don't need context to know this is fucking cool.
Yeah.
And the thing that was nice about going to see that with my mom was I've got Morgan on my left, who's followed right along with me. Mom on the right, who's kind of caught the core. She's seen Avengers. She knows who Iron Man is.
Right.
She knows these people. And then it fucking ends with them losing, because she doesn't know that it's part of a two-parter, essentially. Right. She's like, what the fuck? Like, out loud in the theater. What the hell? She's looking over at me, and I'm like, they're making another one next year, Mom. It'll be out next year. She's like, what the oh my God. She's thinking, this is getting heavy.
This just ain't right.
Just Thanos fucking wins, sits down, and is like, all right. And it just goes to fucking, you got Captain America being like, oh my God. And then just fucking goes to credits, and she's just, what the shit? What did you bring me to? But no. So yeah, Barbie is tearing it up at the box office.
Love to see it, Barbara. Keep it up.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles only had a 44% drop-off, which is, in the grand scheme of things, is a pretty good whole.
I have been gassing that up word of mouth.
Too. I've been telling that shit
everybody
like a fucking religion. I'm just spreading it.
Have you heard the good news?
Yeah, exactly. Have you heard the word? Go knocking on doors. You got a moment I want to talk to you about our Lord and Savior, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. What?
The Turtles.
Fucking, they're the heroes on the half shell.
Turtle power.
Turtle power. Come on now. But no, right
what
now
is it? Peace be with you, you as well. Yeah. Turtles on a half shell. Turtle power.
Peace be with you. Yeah, and also with you. Yeah. No, let's see here. Yeah, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is at $94.7 million worldwide. You know what came out and apparently nobody saw, including us, but it's one that we were kind of looking forward to. The Last Voyage of the Demeter, the Dracula movie.
Oh,
on the fucking boat. Yeah, that came out this past weekend and opened in 5th place with $6.5 million. That's tough. That's not good.
Whoa.
Yeah. That's not great, because I can't imagine that the budget was... I'm sure the budget was small, all things considered.
Yeah,
but when you've got a creature and a boat, and it's a period piece, so you've got certain props and costumes and stuff, it can't be the cheapest thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it was less than $6.5 million. So that's a shame.
We'll have to go pay our respects or something.
Yeah, I know. Because from what I've heard, it's not bad.
Go sprinkle some popcorn in front of the theater that plays it.
Yeah, throw it out there like you're feeding the pigeons. Just but yeah, so that's my little wrap up there of the box office. Keep an eyes on old Barbara there. Fucking Gal Gadot, apparently this is according to Variety. Apparently Gal Gadot's just talking out of her ass. Like,
Word.
Variety, they have sources close to, like, inside DC that are like, yeah, there's no plans for a fucking Wonder Woman 3. And according to the sources, there was no promise made, like she talked about, of like, yeah, they told me like that we're going to work on this together and all that. And they're like, fucking win, because they don't remember that.
We didn't say nothing.
Yeah, so I wonder if it's like, are they being shitty and being like, we didn't say that? Or is she like trying to pull a power play? You know what I mean? And like, will it to be through public opinion?
Sure,
you know what I mean?
Sure.
Either way, yeah, Variety's like, yeah, we got the scoop. Yeah, no, there's no plans for a Wonder Woman 3 project.
DC's been flopping like hard, like it's been off rip.
Yeah.
Not seeing any change.
Well, they haven't. they just took over less than a year ago. They haven't been able to make anything yet.
I know, but The Flash.
They didn't make The Flash.
I know, but like James Gunn was like,
so far they're not doing nothing.
I got hopes for Blue Beetle, man, but
yeah. Well, and again, Blue Beetle isn't theirs. The first one that'll be theirs technically will be that animated series. Was it Creature Commandos? But then the first feature length film will be the Superman Legacy, which I think is set for 2025.
I hope Blue Beetle's good. It looks good in the trailer.
Yeah, from what I've heard, I saw one little quote. I'm sure it's like a marketing thing, but it was from somebody's review. Was the most fun I've had watching, or the most I've enjoyed a DC film since Nolan. So you figure he made the Dark Knight trilogy, and then they're like, "This is the best thing since that." So that's a pretty big. Because the Batman is included in that.
Yeah. And
Joker.
I don't know. I think the Joker. It's like I've seen it 2 or 3 times.
You've seen it more than that.
I've seen it no more than 10.
You were the weird kid that was like, I want 1 ticket to the Joker again, please.
You say peacock. Nobody bats an eye.
Or I was getting a little worried. I was like, we got to check his fucking browser history, see what he's...
Poopcock.
We were watching the Joker too much. I was worried you're going to become the Riddler, just in the online forum.
No, I'm just the Rizzler.
Yeah, that's you, baby.
That's all me. Say I ain't got no Riz.
I'll say it right now. You ain't got no Riz.
Whoa.
Hey, steady now. You gonna make it over there, Chief?
I'm trying to get
comfortable. Fidgeting in that chair like a 10-year-old at a restaurant.
Sitting on my leg and start falling asleep. God damn.
Oh, damn.
I forgot what I was saying. I was
talking about the Joker. You're like, I've seen the Joker a few times.
Yeah, I've seen it a few times, and then
I feel like you're gonna come to the resolution that once you got some distance from it, it's just fine.
Yeah.
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 It's just alright.
It is a good movie though.
Yeah, Joaquin Phoenix is the best part of that movie.
Yeah.
I don't even know if the writing's that fucking brilliant. What a fucking idea to go. Society.
Cinema.
Turns out not everybody's treated fairly, and that's not fair.
And that's not fair.
Yeah, you're like, well, glad you opened my eyes to that. Thank you. But no, the acting in it is very good from Joaquin Phoenix, which again, I don't think is that's not a groundbreaking revelation. He won the fucking Oscar for it. Mm-hmm. So let's fucking see here, kids. So yeah, Disney Plus is going to be cracking down on password sharing, as well as hiking their prices.
You're fucking with me.
Not even kind of.
You're actually fucking me.
I didn't. So Bob Iger, our Lord and Savior, Bob Iger, father of Disney, who's not been in some good press lately with the strikes and everything, and a lot of actors and writers and people just using his name directly, being like, "Hey, Bob Iger, licking my fucking balls," and you're like, "Whoa!"
Yeah.
But he did also say, "We want people to starve," so
yeah.
Once they lose their homes, that's when we know we've won. You're like, Jesus Christ, as he gets a fucking $25 million bonus. Anyways,
there's a hell he's going.
The World's Fair. So Netflix obviously did the whole move to crack down on password sharing, and did say that they had an influx in subscribers. So it kind of went their way. That they actually gained followers from it and didn't lose any.
Not me, dude. I haven't been on Netflix in forever.
And on an earnings call, basically Bob Iger was like, "Listen, Disney Plus has yet to make $1. We got to fucking do something about this. We're raising the price again, because it already raised once this year at the beginning of the year. We're raising it again. Let's see here, to so the premium, Disney Plus Premium, will rise from $10.99 to $13 per month. And Hulu, which they own a majority stake in, is going from $14.99 to $17.99 a month. So
this is fucking highway robbery.
This is horse shit. We've worked our way back around to cable.
Yeah.
Where you're going to spend $200 a month to get mostly stuff you don't watch, just so you can watch the 1 or 2 things that you do.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's gonna. Do you think it's gonna happen?
I mean, that's what it is already.
Have you noticed people going back to cable?
Oh, no. I'm saying the way that the thing works is the same problem that was with cable, where you give DirecTV $200 a month to have, you've got fucking 300 channels, and you're like, yeah, but I watch 3 shows.
Right.
I don't need 300 channels for $200. It's the same thing. You've got these massive libraries on HBO, Hulu, Disney Plus, Netflix, and you're like, oh yeah.
What if we
Mandalorian comes back and
what if we just start to revolt and people just stop having cable and streaming? We start going to movie theaters more often. We get those movies, and then we just don't watch TV. Yeah, it's not going to happen.
That doesn't even sound fun, because most movies coming out aren't good.
That's true. So Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Hey,
Right. Yo, bring it back around. Barbie, Oppenheimer, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. You got the fucking holy trinity right there, baby.
Bang, that's all you need.
Boom.
All you fucking need.
Suck it. But yeah, and they're looking at the password sharing crackdown coming in 2024 is when he really wants to start looking at how do we make this happen? How do we use it?
If you're raising the price.
And then cracking down on making more people pay that price.
There is a threshold. People are already doing it with Netflix, and I bet you they're like, I can't do this no more.
I mean, but again, Netflix gained subscribers from it. So, I mean, it worked for Netflix, which is why he's looking at them and going, I mean, it worked for them. We're going to give it a try. Mm-hmm. And I was thinking about it. I don't watch either one.
I'm big.
I spend most of my time on YouTube.
Oh, do you have YouTube Premium?
Yeah. Because I'm on it all the time.
Yeah.
And, like, I have an ad blocker on my computer, but I watch it a lot on the TV. Like, that's what we watch when we eat dinner and stuff, is we'll just put on, like, Rhett and Link or something. And I'm like, I'm tired of fucking ads. So I was like, yeah, I'll do. For as much as I'm watching, I'll pay for it.
Sure.
But, yeah, I use ad blockers everywhere else. I got them on my phone and on the computer. But who knows, man? It's fucking...
We're in a recession.
Yeah.
The rich are getting richer and the poor are getting poorer.
Speaking of Disney and Marvel being the bad guys, Marvel Studios VFX artists are attempting to unionize. So
good.
There's only 50 people, so it's not the thousands of people that have worked on Marvel projects.
Sure.
They've got 50 that are directly employed by Marvel, who are primarily in New York, Atlanta, and then LA. And they basically petitioned the Board of Labor to allow them to unionize, to vote on, I think it's the National Labor Relations Board is the exact institution, I guess. So the group will be represented by the IATSE, which is who basically represents the carpenters that build the sets, the light guys, the sound guys, things like that. You know, they're the kind of the catch-all. If you're not writing or directing or an actor, you're in IATSE.
Sure.
And you'll hear a lot of the SAG and WGA members talk about the IATSE. You know, they need representation too on this. Like, the problem that you run into with the IATSE is, like, because they cover so many different professions, it's really hard to get, like, a unified, this is what we want, because what's good for the boom operator might not be good for the visual effects artist.
Sure.
Or the stagehand or things like that. You know what I mean? So it's really hard to
pinpoint.
To go, here's our demands, which is why I don't think IATSE's ever been on strike, because they don't have a unified message to strike behind. I think it's a big move, and I think it'll just, in the way that the world is sitting right now, in that whole industry, I think they've got a good chance to
get it to pass.
And that'll be the start of something where, I mean, visual effects artists, and then I think video games are the next place that are probably going to unionize, because you run into things like crunch and stuff like that, where you've got people working 70, 80 hours, sleeping at the office, food being brought in, because you're not leaving. We're going to work on this thing until release day and still release an unfinished game,
Yeah.
And it's like, and you got the visual effects artists that are being given 6 months lead, and the same thing, they get put on crunch and stuff like that. And people have been talking about that a lot, that the VFX artists are getting overworked and underpaid, and so they're definitely I think a good opportunity of, it's a decently aged, it's now a 20-year-old or more, but really as far as being in use, it's a 20-year-old career, I suppose, or industry. They need to unionize and get some rights, because these the actors and the writers are getting, everything's represented except for the visual effects artists, because they're so new. They need to step in and get themselves some representation,
some traction,
especially when you get stuff like The Flash, where the CG is a
majority.
Is a deal breaker or a deal maker, where you go, man, I just cannot get past the fact that one of these two Flashes looks like a PS3 character, and it's just, I'm sure they were probably overworked.
Or Nicolas Cage's Superman, where he's just a CG blob.
Yeah, he's just a dude. He looks like a rubber dummy, But, so I thought that was pretty interesting. That I think that'll be the way it goes. I do think they'll end up getting represented. I don't know if they'll join. I don't think they should join IATSE, but I think it makes sense, because it's one that already exists and represents most of the other professions inside the filmmaking industry. But I do think that they would benefit from just having a guild of artists, that maybe it's visual effects artists, and it's them, and it's maybe visual effects artists for television, and then for video games, maybe. I don't know. But while we're talking about comic book stuff, Robert Kirkman says you won't have to wait very long for Invincible 3. He said the gap between seasons 1 and 2 is the longest gap that anyone will ever have to wait between seasons of Invincible, because apparently they double stacked the voice lines, so that while they were recording the voice lines for season 2, they went ahead and recorded the voice lines for season 3. Already got it done, so that way you can just get into animating. And so, yeah, the goal is that season 2 comes out. Season 2 part 1, I guess, comes out this fall, and then early next spring, or into the end of winter, or around February or so, March, you get the second half of the season, and then hopefully the same time next year, so 2025's February or March, you get season 3. That'd be pretty dope.
Yeah,
because you figure we've had like a 2 or 3 year gap on seasons 1 and 2. And so, yeah, luckily they prepped it that shouldn't be
I think I'm probably going to rewatch it.
Yeah, I've been watching clips and stuff. I'm like, man, I just kind of
Omni-Man fucking up the league.
The Guardians of the Globe fucks them up.
Dude. He almost dies, though. So, they did some good damage to him.
But again, it's one dude versus the Guardians of the Globe. It'd be like saying one dude fighting the Justice League.
And I'll say that the person who did the most damage was the
Red. What's his name? The Blur? The Red?
I think it's the Red Blur.
Something like that. Yeah, basically their Flash. Because he was just beating the shit out of his chest.
Yeah, and breaking his hands.
Making him cough blood.
Yeah, he did the most damage out of him, and then he just obliterated the rest.
But then, to be fair...
what's her name? Hit him a couple times.
She catches him with the mace a few times in the fucking head and knocks him around. He's spitting teeth out. But, yeah, and then he fucking...
Damn, that's a good ass show.
He chops her head off with just his hand.
Yeah.
Just like a...
No, he snaps her neck.
He snaps her neck. It's the other guy, yeah.
Because they end up reattached... I don't remember.
Immortal? Is that his
Immortal.
name? Immortal. He punches his hand through his chest, and then when he's on the ground going, why? He just karate chops his head off.
And then they bring him back for literally 5 minutes, and he dies
he's ripped in half at the waist.
Do you think they'll try to bring him back
him back again? That'd be hilarious.
Well, they chopped his head off and they can bring him back.
Because he's immortal. Yeah. If we can put him together.
Do you think that's his whole shtick?
I think so, yeah.
I didn't know that.
I think he's like several hundred years old. Yeah.
Oh, word. I didn't know that.
Yeah, and Omni-Man, that's why he took his head off. Was like, you can't come back from that.
Right.
But then they came in and put his head back on, and we're like, all right, I'll be all right, baby. Shh. Don't tell mom. You're fine. The studio behind Destroy All Humans, the like remasters that they did, is how they came out and fully announced. It's THQ Nordic. They are making a Last Ronin video game. So we knew that. We were treating it as fact, but it was just like, rumor is, you know. And now I'm sure off the back of, Mutant Mayhem doing as well as it did commercially and, critically, they're like, we got to get something out. Because they put out a teaser trailer that was nothing. It was basically 4 candles and them being blown out.
Yeah.
And like you might see the different masks and stuff floating through the air, and then just the one candle left, and it's because there's just the one turtle left, right? And they did say, basically all it was like that it's in active development. Was like that was the announcement. Was like, yeah, we're making this shit. And they did a little press release where they kind of mimicked some of the things that we'd heard were rumor, that they are trying to aim for a more adult audience. Make it mature.
My thing is, I hated, what was it, like the 2014 Nickelodeon version of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and they're all like real beefed up.
Oh, word, yeah.
Do not do that. I'd be so
What did
upset.
they look like in the comic?
In the comic, he was just like a normal turtle. Like, he looked more like the 90s cartoon, like a little thicker.
Yeah, because that's what the comics were.
Sure.
Yeah, so that makes sense. But so yeah, I think they'll probably go that way.
Yeah, just
I
don't
would be
make 'em
interested
that
to see if they did it cell shaded. Kind of make it comic booky in art style.
Oh, that'd be interesting. That'd be cool to see.
Yeah, but they did say that they want it to be like more modern ARPGs, like they reference God of War. Oh fuck,
Yo,
just that style of combat.
Out.
As spoiler alert, Mikey, right? Just chopping people up with the swords and shit.
Well, he only has one.
Yeah,
because the other one's
broken. Yeah,
he's got one of each. He's got the sai, the
sword,
and then
the nunchuck,
the staff,
and the staff.
Yeah. That was a sad ass comic too.
Yeah,
because spoiler, he dies at the end.
Yeah,
and so it's just like,
oh my god, they all died.
But they're all together again in spirit. So it's that ninja shit.
Let's see here, So Stalker 2: Heart of Chernobyl. Like I said, it's been a long-awaited game. I think the last Stalker game came out in like 2009, 2007, somewhere in there. And have you ever played the Stalker games? No. So they're like Fallout, but milsim.
Okay.
And it's where essentially the Chernobyl nuclear meltdown incident didn't get suppressed like it did, and like kind of blew out of proportion. And there's a huge exclusion zone that's just irradiated. And Stalkers are I don't remember what it stands for, but it's an
acronym.
An acronym. Thank you. Where those are people that go into the exclusion zone, and there's like good shit to be had in there, and so they'll go in, get stuff, and get out, get loot, and get out.
Sure.
And so it's less story driven than the Fallout games, but it's got RPG elements. But like I said, there's survival sim and then military sim stuff in it, where it shoots and acts a lot like a military simulator. It's less Call of Duty, you know. And like I said, there's survival. You got to eat, you got to drink, you got to sleep, all while surviving the other guys that are in there, bandits and shit like that are in there, as well as there are mutated monsters and stuff. They're pretty fun games, but we got a little surprise. Potentially. There might be a confirmed or an unconfirmed release date of December 1st of this year.
Oh, shit.
Where there's a German gaming site that accidentally like posted a release date for it, and of December 1st, and a lot of people were like, well, that might just be a placeholder. But when you looked at all the other games on their website that are placeholders for December, it says December 31st. And this says December 1st, which is a Friday, which is not an uncommon day to release a video game. Yeah. The developers haven't come out and like said, oh, yep, that's the release date. But they also haven't come out and been like, no, it's not coming out, things like that. Back in March, because of the war in Ukraine, they did have to stop development.
Sure.
And they posted a bunch of sad pictures of like their offices once they got to return, and they're just like blown out buildings and shit. But then allegedly in May, I think they had fled to Poland.
Okay.
And had picked up a development again in Poland.